Stop Fury. Come out and fight me, you chicken. Come out with some of that. Stop fucking running away from me, you chicken. I want you.
I'm Peter Fury, and don't forget to subscribe to Porky's Corner, because I've been a helmet of the month and you need to listen to me. Yeah? So follow him, yeah? And get the fella some followers up, for Christ's sake. He wears his heart on his sleeves, the good man Russ. So follow Porky's Corner, he says it as it is, and you know, I appreciate the helmet of the month, Russ. No problem.
No problem, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. We've got an early morning video here with my good friend Rico from London, who co-founded the channel with me. 4 years this November, isn't it, Rico?
Yeah, about time flies, right?
Time flies. Tossed it off for 2 years, but then knuckled down for 2 years.
I still miss you being in the shed and doing about weights while you're doing the video.
Yeah, I'm giving it all this. Can I just give a big shout out to Bunny? I forgot what gym you're working at because I've got short-term memory loss, Bunny, but good luck with whatever you're doing. And can I give a big shout out to Cosmetic Beach, who are going to do my teeth in next 12 weeks in Turkey. Michelle Hudson, they've got a, you know, like a seminar thing where they speak to people. It's at Ella Biola, August 11th. So if you want your hair transplant, or your teeth done, or a mummy tuck, or tummy tuck, or whatever they call it, or boob jobs, or boob lifts, or whatever, or Johnny Nelson, they do penis reduction ops. So get you sent to Cosmetic Beach. She's a lovely lass. She's from Dinnington, Sheffield, who owns it. Michelle Hudson, her name. Go on website and check. She looks like she might have had some work done. She's a nice lady for 54. But I'll be out there in about 12 weeks. But getting back to boxing, Joshua and Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua, 258 management, whatever. Oh, we're going to put it out last night, but I was shattered. I didn't get in well late. It's looking like they're going to vacate the WBO. That's the word on the street last night and this morning. So where does that leave all that people around? Where does it leave Joyce, Dylan White, Andy Ruiz, and what do you think, Rico, about it all?
I think it's back to the thing where they're going to try and milk the fans as much as possible. So, you know, get a Dillian White rematch, maybe a Ruiz trilogy. Just fight their way into fights where they can keep the gravy train going without facing Fury or Wilder.
Yeah. Do you feel that Fury led them down the garden path, Rico?
Oh, they're not stupid, are they? I mean, everybody knew about the arbitration, right? If we were talking about it, they've got people who are employed full-time to look after these people, so they all knew about it, right?
Yeah.
I think it was mutually convenient. So it was mutually convenient that Joshua can now say that they tried to make the fight, but Fury's team didn't, and Fury can try and say, well, we tried to make the fight as well, but you know, Wilder ruined it all.
Do you know what? I've come out of this smelling of roses. Obviously, I don't get everything right, but you know, for 15 months, I've said that they've got to fight Wilder, didn't I? And everybody said, "Oh, I hate him," didn't they?
Well, yeah, same both here. So, but you know, in boxing, if something's too obvious, it's often not going to happen.
Yeah.
You look at this Pacquiao Spence fight, like we were talking on the weekend. It just got announced, right? We didn't hear speculations. There weren't hundreds of videos being done. There wasn't lots of rumors. They just announced it, right? And that's the way how most big fights and most big things in boxing happen. So
sorry, go on.
You might get chatted a day or two before, but generally, if it's a big announcement in boxing, it just happens, right?
Al Heyman's not like that, Rico, is he? He doesn't shout his mouth off and do it. He just goes about his business, doesn't he?
Exactly. And the fighters are the stars of PBC, right?
Yeah. Do you feel that... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say quickly on this Wilder situation, right?
With
arbitration. If it was Eddie Hearn managing Wilder and Joshua was with somebody else, he'd be constantly updating what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Al Heyman, Shelley Finkel, who looks after Wilder as well, they were just quiet, weren't they?
Yeah. Do you feel that Eddie's come out of this looking quite bad?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, he's been telling how everything's sorted, how everything's signed, how everything's fine for the last 6-7 months, right? So again, he's been caught with his pants down lying. He can blame Fury all he wants, but the arbitration's no surprise to anyone.
Okay. I saw Eddie's interview this morning, 4:30 a.m. Hour and 15 minutes. It's just the same old Eddie, innit? He hasn't changed, has he? He's in denial that he hasn't made the fight. He said, I made the fight, I did everything possible, but Fury didn't want it. I mean, isn't it his job to check round all the politics around it? For example, Dennis were making an EBU minor belt against Anthony Tomlinson and Moorcroft, and they EBU pulled it because Moorcroft were coming off a loss, so you got to have a win before you can go for it again. So we can have a go at Dennis for making that mistake, but Eddie's made a mistake. And obviously, it's opposite ends of the spectrum, but Eddie's made the mistake and not looking into the arbitration. But his answer is, well, it's a private thing and we can't check into it and all that. But isn't it his job to liaise with Bob Arum or their lawyers to liaise with other lawyers? So somewhere along the lines, they shafted them, haven't they? And I think it's through greed, because we know Joshua's greedy and we know Eddie loves a pound now. Do you think their own greediness has sort of dug their own hole this time?
No, I mean, look, they're not stupid, are they? So let's be clear. You make a fight when you have a venue confirmed, you have a date confirmed, you have everything signed and announced, right? At no point was that fight made.
Yeah.
There was just good progress made on certain things, but again, at no point was anything announced. We didn't see an article in Sky Sports saying the fight has been announced, here's the venue, here's the date, this is how much is on pay-per-view, this is the time it's going to be. It wasn't made.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's probably all just smoke and mirrors. Like, they were hoping that they could make the fight and the arbitration wouldn't happen, but it was also an easy out.
Yeah.
It's all, that if they're dealing with contracts, right, they would have paid sports lawyers tens of thousands of pounds to get this done. All of that would be in there in the contracts, and maybe that was why they couldn't sign him. Probably was why they couldn't sign him.
I don't need to go into this in private. When you were that company you worked for, obviously you dealt with the Manchester City Puma deal and that. Do you have to deal with sports lawyers on a daily basis?
No, but on some stuff you have to deal with lawyers, right? Because to understand like what the ramifications of certain things are, like what might happen, if this happens or that happens, and it's lawyers' jobs to understand what the outcomes of the arbitration were. So Eddie's team's lawyers would have said, okay, this has gone to arbitration. Here are the 3 scenarios what are going to happen.
Yeah.
But Eddie was sort of on purpose publicly oblivious to it because he never brought it up, did it? Until it happened.
Yeah.
He wasn't really talking about that being a thing. He never said that, okay, we've signed all of this, the deals are going really well, but we always have to wait for the arbitration to see what happens.
Well, that's what I think it boils down to inexperience. I think he got old man, didn't he?
Probably.
You think Arum old man him? Or do you think that he just rubbed them all up the wrong way over the last 3 years?
It's really hard for Eddie. It's really hard to say for Eddie because you don't know what he's ever thinking because he always puts on this public persona. Like, the only thing he really cares about is that the fans think that he's on the right? It's not about necessarily doing best for your fighter. It's not about telling the truth. It's about what fans think about him, right? It's all about his own ego. And I think so. A lot of these YouTubers aren't there asking proper questions. So nobody's going to put him in a corner where he's going to be asked questions about it, right?
That's it.
He can tell the story he wants, right?
Last night, that interview with Coogan didn't tell us anything. I mean, he showed a little bit of vulnerableness, a little bit. And the only time I've ever seen that is when Carl Frampton left him. He was the first one to leave him, wasn't he? He went to Frank Warren. Other than that, nobody's backing Eddie Hearn into a corner, are they? And saying, Eddie, come on, why don't you just admit that you got it wrong? Instead of saying you made it, he messed up, didn't he, big time? And I think that'll haunt him now because them Saudis are now going to think Eddie's Mickey Mouse, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Look, he's come out of it really, really bad. And do you know what? He's not my favourite person, and he says I'm not his favourite person, but I kind of feel sorry for him in a way, Rico, because he got excited like a kid in a sweet shop or all that. He was thinking of his 20% of 75 million, wasn't he? He's thinking 15 million quid. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
And all add-ons as well. He probably would have come out of it with 15 after all add-ons and all whatever they've done behind the scenes. So that's all he was thinking of, his big 15, and he ain't throwing a punch. There'd have been kids on that show getting pittance, and he's getting all that. But part of me feels sorry for him because I think he's been messed about. I think Fury's messed him about. I mean, where is he going and what is he doing at the moment? I don't believe he fights Wilder in July 24th or August, you?
Well, he doesn't look in shape to do that, does he? I mean,
No.
It seems like he's just living the life in Vegas. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Fury got injured in camp, right? A few weeks before.
Yeah, I mean, this is how I look at it. Where's Fury heading now? Where's Tommy Fury heading? He's fighting a guy Norton 14 next. But yet every time I turn on my telly, he's all over Daily Mail with the same paparazzi and same stories, and they're in media every day, but they're not doing any fighting, are they? And if they are fighting somebody, it's a Norton 14 guy. I mean, what's happened to the sport, Rico? Where is it heading?
I don't personally mind the Wilder fight because I actually think it's going to be closer and more intriguing than people think.
He's beat him twice, though, hasn't he?
Well, he has, but Wilder put him down twice, and Fury's one of those guys. The first time, he was probably a bit nervous because he wasn't in the best shape. Second time, he was at his best. And what happens with Fury when he thinks that he can just beat someone, right? That's the thing that makes the fight interesting for me, is because Fury will probably just overlook Wilder. And Wilder he knows that this is one chance to save his career effectively. So Fury could have an off night, or, he's probably not focusing on as it was the first time around. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Fury got knocked out in that fight.
I wouldn't. With all carryings off that's gone on, because karma's a bitch, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then where does this leave Sam Jones and Big Chuck? Is it Big Chuck or what's he called? Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut Joe. Where does it leave them? I call him Frankenstein, mate.
I think that's Sam Jones and Frank Warren need to try and push him up governing bodies and try and force some mandatories. I think this is a time where everybody needs to try and force mandatories. Everybody needs to force final eliminators, mandatories, so that Joshua ends up fighting as many as possible in the time period. And also, everybody needs to, whoever's up the WBC rankings, needs to try and force something so they can get the win off Wilder Fury.
Where does this leave Usyk then and Joshua? Because obviously we've spoken about this earlier. If they do fight, I've got Usyk winning. I think personally Joshua loses, but where does it leave Usyk if Joshua don't fight him and vacates? Usyk and Joyce, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. That's it. Exactly. I think that will be a good fight. But again, it's, he was signed for Matchroom to keep him away from Joshua. Now he's left Matchroom, so effectively he'll make the decision that's best for his career, and he'll actually push to get Joshua to vacate the fight. Sorry, the belts, so that he either fights him or not.
What about Ergovic against Hunter? That's off, isn't it, for IBF final eliminator? So no, Ergovic can't get a dance partner at the moment. What about Ergovic against Dylan White? Beat him, Dylan.
I think that will be a good fight.
Do you think Dylan White will take that fight?
I don't know. Will the cab man take every fight that's given to him? That's the question that's been riddling us for a long
Dylan
time.
White, anybody who wants it can't get it. Or they can get it if they're over 40. What about Dylan White, Joe Joyce? It's a great fight. They both need a dance partner if Usyk's going to fight Joshua, but I don't think he is from what I'm hearing.
No, I think that would be a great British fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Do we want to see Dylan White, Parker, Chisora, that merry-go-round, or a Chris Ariola? Come on.
No, certainly not.
Or Andy Ruiz. We don't want to see any of that shower, do we?
No, 100% we don't.
So, what do you think? Where do you think this leaves Huey in all the mix?
That's a good question. I just think Matchroom, they put him in tough fights, but they haven't actually progressed him, if you know what I mean. It's like, this is the time where you probably want to get Huey into the mix, because if you look at Chisora, he's aging. Dillian sort of aging. So I think you could even make a Dillian versus Huey fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
Why not?
Dylan against Huey, yeah, I'd like to see that fight. Dylan White against Huey Fury. I think that's a great fight. I think it's pay-per-view.
Yeah, but there's nothing to lose for like Matchroom, because if Huey beats Dillian, then they've got another young guy that's actually at that level that we talk about, the fringe, sort of on the cusp of world title shots. And if Dillian beats you, then they have they've got another fight there. Dillian's beat another British guy.
In Huey about 6 or 7 years younger than Dylan White, so you'd have to
exactly.
say it's a good fight for you. I mean, nobody seems to mention Tony Yoka at the moment, Rico, do they?
No, but he's not with a big promoter, so.
Eddie seems to be dropping his name out last few weeks, though, doesn't he? Every now and then.
Probably Eddie wants to sign him. That's why, right?
I heard last night that Eddie said he'd sign Tyson Fury if deal were right. What do you think to that?
I mean, hasn't Eddie tried to sign him? Do you remember when Tyson leaked the emails when he tried to sign him when he ended up going to Warren?
Yeah.
Eddie will sign whoever makes money, right? Tyson Fury will still make a lot of money in this country in terms of pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I think he's a bigger star than Joshua, Tyson Fury, for the man on the streets.
Yeah. All right, then. Let's just finish off on this. We've not heard anything from Billy Joe Saunders now, nearly 3 weeks. What do you think?
I don't think we'll hear anything for a while.
No?
We'll get some sort of story, right? Boxer Size Ben has redeemed himself, so maybe he'll do the talking.
Boxer Size Ben's doing well on votes this month for helmets. Him and Billy.
Tweeting about himself these days, calling himself Boxer Size Ben. Have you seen that?
Yeah, well, I named him it, didn't I?
Well, you and others.
Pardon?
You and others, I think.
Yeah, Boxer Size Ben.
What did he make of the whole Taylor fight on the weekend?
I thought he fought brilliantly, Taylor. I think he's a world class. I think he's elite. He's an amazing fighter. But I've been saying it for years. I called it in 2018. I said he beats Mikey Garcia, and people said, "Okay, you're crazy. You're back on crack."
That is true. Actually, you did say that.
August 2018. I sat in my kid's mum's car telling a story about Josh Taylor saying that he beats Mikey Garcia. And people said, "You're crazy, you're on crack, you lost pot." And then other people were saying, "Porky, please don't leave YouTube." Speaking of people that got it wrong, do you know that Adi with bald head, black geezer with beard? He got a job at Sky, didn't he? Do you know what Adi? Boxing with Adi, is it, or something?
Oh, Ade, yeah, Ade.
Ade, is that it? Well, he's got a good... he's got a good, not telephone man. He's quite good in front of the camera, pretty comfortable. Don't carry off like me and that. Well, he was one of them that was saying Joshua Fury, well done, wasn't he? Done deal and all that, carry on. All of them kept going against the Porkster. They've all got egg on your faces now, haven't you?
Well, you know what? They've been told to say it, aren't they?
Well, that's where you go. I'm not going to go into other channels. We know who the other channels are that are getting looked after from Matchroom. They're all told to spread the gospel, but yeah.
I mean, Ade works for Talk Sports and Sky Sports. He does football and he does boxing and other stuff and talk. He does multitude of things, and he's one of the guys from YouTube ending up on media. Which But remember, it's quite different for these guys like him, because you might have Eddie Hearn or somebody from Matchroom actually ringing you up and saying, yeah, it's all done and signed, and so you can only go with the information you received.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. But so that means he's a company man then, does he?
No, it's the same way if you get information from your friends in boxing.
Right,
You don't necessarily say who told you what, but you take it as being the truth, right? There's a lot of moving parts, and it's in Eddie's interest to tell everybody the fight is done, and he can probably go into detail and convince people it's done.
Well, looks like the Furies have master manipulated Eduardo and hung him out to dry. So,
well, have you ever seen a deal being signed as quickly as
Wilder.
Fury-Wilder fight? The venue and everything confirmed. That's how you make a deal, don't you?
Took Eddie Hearn 11 months and he still couldn't do it. Still couldn't get it over. Like, imagine hours he spent on that. Can you imagine him going like that? Oh, what I'm going to do with my 15 million? I think he's got to be on his knees this morning, hasn't he?
The problem is that any fight now is very anticlimactic for Joshua, isn't it?
Oh, God.
So it's like, even if you face him against Usyk, you just been like, it's all right, but I'm not that interested in that fight.
That won't be a 25 quid. It'll be a 20 quid if it happens, but I don't think it will. Who can get behind Joshua now if he vacates that belt? How could the fans ever follow him again?
I'm not personally that worried about the vacation, because I'd rather see him fight good fights. So let's say if he fought against Usyk, Yoka, Joe Joyce, and he had to vacate 1 or 2 belts doing that, I wouldn't mind that. I'd rather see that than him fighting against, let's say, a rematch against Parker or all this other stuff. So I get where they come in with it's all about the belts, but then that would also mean that you have to fight against good opposition. You can't vacate because you've got to face, Usyk. Suddenly it's like, oh, because that's not a good fight, so we're going to vacate. It's like, no, that's a great fight.
Yeah. Where does this all leave DAZN and Sky Sports? Because there's an announcement in the next week regarding Eddie's future.
Well, doesn't DAZN own 40% of Matchroom anyway? So we always knew which way it was coming.
Yeah. Where does this leave Bean? Do you think he jumped ship early last year when he realised and went to learn how to be a dark commentator? Do you think he's sort of writing on the wall?
Yeah, I think yes, but one of the things that's not clear is what Sky's future with regards to boxing. So, like, are they going to be still doing the odd pay-per-view? Are they going to be doing MTK Golden Contract if that comes back? Will they be buying, shows from abroad? Like, will they just slash the boxing budget and put that into something else, or will they actually do boxing but they won't have like one promoter? Do you see what I mean? They just buy content from other, like Box Nation used to do. But
yeah, you're going to see some whores hanging around Sky hula hooping, aren't you, really?
Well, guys like Dave Colwell, where are they going to go? They're not going to be on DAZN.
No, Eddie's getting his own media team together now, isn't he? And he's going to want the ones that the fans don't hammer, isn't he?
Yeah, and also, look, DAZN are a savvy company in terms of social media, so they'll read what people think about all the commentators, all the team and stuff, and they'll know that they'll start off on the wrong foot if they bring the people over from Sky.
Do you think that a lot of them people who've got the tongues up Eddie's arse that bad they're eating his food for him? Do you think a lot of them people, Dave Caldwell's, Tony Bellew, and people like that, do you think that they're gonna? Do you think they basically shot themselves in foot at actually trying to get on at DAZN?
I mean, Tony Bellew is doing his book tour, isn't he? He's going
around
like big. He's doing a book tour like Big John Fury, the fighting man, where he's going to be going around town.
Book tour? I thought that were didn't he bring that out over a year ago?
No, but he's doing a tour talking about his life and the book.
Oh God, Tony disappear! God, that'd be painful to watch, wouldn't it? Tony Bellew, the man that never beat a champion.
How much would we have to pay you to attend those? He's doing one in Rotherham, 8th of September, if you fancy.
Whereabouts?
The New York Stadium.
Oh, Rotherham United football ground. Yeah, it's just over here.
Actually, this is old. I can't. Sorry, the wrong dates. Yeah, I saw somewhere that he's doing a book tour where he's going to be talking about his life and everything.
God, could you imagine that? People wanted to listen about Tony Bellew's life, the life of Tony.
I think we've heard it all in IFL, and this is where a lot of boxers shoot themselves in the foot. There's nothing for them to tell after we watch them on IFL and other channels, right?
Yeah. That's it, exactly. There's no to say, is there?
No.
Welcome to Tony's world. I wonder if he'll tell them all about when he turned his back in his fight against Stevenson. That's classed as quitting.
Well, he did say he was ready to die in the ring before that fight, but
Did it? Oh, what about when he were going to take Usyk into trenches?
yeah,
World War III. Oh my God.
well, Johnny Nelson did tell us that Belly is a better technical boxer than Usyk.
Johnny Nelson, the man that said Carlos Takam and who other one?
No, Carlos Takam is Holyfield.
Carlos Takam is like Holyfield and George Foreman rolled into one.
Yep.
And he fears for Joshua's life. But yeah, he took the fight at 12 days' notice, and Joshua had a 12-week camp. Oh my God, Johnny, what has you been smoking? Can you send me some over? God, Johnny, you're giving me shakes. You're making my toes curl up. Anything else to add, Rico?
Nothing else, mate.
Okie dokie then. Well, I'll get this over to tech, guys. I'm going to slip a couple of things in it, jazz it up a little bit. Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you for watching, everybody. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Join the members area.
Yeah, subscribe.
Like, share, comments.
Thank you very much. Only 1% of subscribers subscribe to the members area, but they're the super hardcore, aren't they, Rico?
Yeah, we'll get some good stuff on there soon.
Okay. Well, listen, you take care, mate, and have a great day. Peace out.
Don't have any nightmares.
I'll try my best. I'll try not to.
All right. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Well, that were Rico. Roadman Killer Rico. Enjoyed that with Rico. Bit of a catch up. I'm going to send this off, so I'll probably go out tonight now. Normally I put it straight out, but I think that we have to slip a couple of things in just to have a little pop at a few people like you do. So thank you for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Thank you very much for all them people that leave a comment. So I start to read them early in the morning now. So, all right, thank you very much. If anybody would be interested in coming on the channel sometime next week, my door is always open. Porky Corner at mail.com. No capital letters, and it's not Porky's with an S, it's Porky Corner. So when I set it up, obviously I spelt it wrong. Porky Corner at mail.com. Just send me an email and it'll get to me, or somebody will get back to you if I don't deal with it. Okie dokie. Peace out.
So, but I've told everyone all along, the fight's happening. I'll ask you, is the fight happening?
To the best of my knowledge, from what I was hearing tonight, I would say abso-fucking-lutely yes.
I told you. It's really close to official announcement time. I will tell you, it's 100% being announced this week. I mean, it'd be amazing to announce on Saturday, right? You know, when I do the announcement, and wouldn't it be great to do it maybe even in the ring on Sunday? You know, a lot of people think we're going to announce on Saturday. We might. Love to announce next week. I want to announce next week. I believe we announce this fight next week. Say by the end of next week, yeah? Because we'll have some good news very soon. And we're on the verge. I'll give you that. We're on the verge. We're on the verge now of getting this fight done. It is on the doorstep, ready to be delivered. You know, stand by for the announcement on that, and need the official announcement now, and that will be very soon. Stand by. I believe we're super close now to getting this done. That fight is done, and you'll get an announcement very soon. The only chance this fight has is if I pull something off. And I'm not having a pop at the other people, but I just don't. I think I'm the only one capable of pulling it off. I've done 99% of the work here because I've done the whole thing. No, I don't want a medal or pats on the back, but I've done the whole thing. So
Is that like why is
ability. Take every obstacle, every hurdle head on, and I'm going to overcome every one. I'm going to get it made. Very confident that this fight happens. We're done. We're done. We have it from the top people. This is done. This deal. He's right. August 14th in Saudi Arabia.
You know, if you've got a bank full of money,
don't even have to have a cock, do you?
they can imagine you've got a cock like a fucking elephant.